Item 4 there, Mike's changed some prices for trading a 1999 Cat motor grader with 9,800 hours on it before the January 1st price increase that Cat typically has.
Where's this built in the budget? Is this the one that we have built in for this year, or is it next year? Let's see. And the other question is this the spare with 9,800 hours on, or is this one that's in active service?
I think that's one of the backup machines that's not used in the summertime, but in the wintertime, I mean, they're all used basically in the wintertime. What we typically have done is even though we do the trade agreement now, the machine isn't available for actual trade-in until after the snow season, or approximately April 1st, which typically gives us the advantage of paying for it this year, or if we need to, delay in payment after July 1st. We have not, last year the motor grader we traded for last year was actually paid for before July 1st, so it came out of last year's budget. So our expenditures out of this year's new equipment line item is only $17,000 so far, so we haven't really spent anything out of this year's budget. But we would set this up as we have in the past with the availability to pay for after July 1st if we need to.
Well, the money should be there.
It should be there, so there shouldn't be any issues. But
how much do you think they expect? What percent?
Mike wasn't sure. He was going to talk to the Cat salesman, I think it was this afternoon, and he had sent a letter out to get prices, sent letters out to 4 different dealers, equipment dealers that have in the past been interested in buying used Cat motor graders. He thinks the market on resale on used equipment right now is down somewhat from where it was a year ago. I guess I don't know until he gives me some figures, but he's expecting they're going to have to pay more for 2 reasons. First, the price increase last year, and then that our trade-in won't be as worth as much as it has in the past. He was guessing that a new motor grader equipped the same as it was last year would be about $253,000.
Jeez, they've gone up 50,000 or more since I've been on the board. I have to look it up. They go about 10% a year.
That's not quite, but the big jump there was from I think the H to the M. There was a big price increase there.
But then there was also there was a 10% because of the emission thing a year ago.
Yeah. And then before that, I mean, when it was the same model, you still saw 2 to 4% every year. Some years it might have been 5 years. I'm not sure. I'd have to look back. Anyway, he's getting some prices.
We're and I guess you had a lot of the information we were going to ask for anyway, as to where you were in your current budget and what you've expended already, and that will be important.
I guess as far as we looked at what we had included in we had new equipment budget of $332,000. And of course, this trade always depends on whether we actually trade last time the used motor grader went to Cat, and so then all we got to put in the new equipment budget is the boot on the trade. Whereas if we don't, if one of the other dealers gets it, then we've got to report that as a we always get in trouble with the auditors when we don't report that as a miscellaneous receipt, and so then the full amount has to come out of our new equipment budget, so. But we should be okay. I mean, Mike's done a little bit of investigating, our sign truck, we thought was getting some age on it, and with the new signing requirements, we're probably gonna be using the truck more than we have to try to keep the signs up a little bit more, so we was doing a little bit of checking into, and that's something we had in the budget, but we'll have to see how things look.
What did we trade for last year?
Motorgrader.
Yeah. There was our trade difference. I was just trying to figure out our cost.
Oh, I thought you were asking what things.
I mean, if it
equipment
cost,
we
if it
bought.
cost $240 last year, and we got 70 for the overrun.
No, we got yeah, our trade was about 161,700, I think it
So
was.
you divide 10,000 hours by 161,000.
Well, and that's, I mean, you know, you have 10,000 hours, that's probably time to move it. At some point here, unless the road funds increase, we are not going to be able to do this every year.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that in mind. So then I guess the other question I would have is, what's the next highest hour machine that they're running in?
Yeah, that I don't know.
And then not as a backup, but as one that's in everyday service.
You're right, about $16 an hour.
We do a whole lot better in our motor grader on a per hour depreciation than we do on any of these trucks. We just get killed in the trucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And everybody's got those tandem trucks, so, you know, driving through the country. I mean, it's not just us.
Well, I don't know what these next set of rulings, the tier 4 or whatever we're coming into next, but, you know, it's getting to the point where you don't have very many manufacturers even to pick from, but have got the right engine that you mount the front pump, PTO pump on, and et cetera, meet our needs. And
This because I have mechanical interests, I read and watch some of that stuff, and this next emissions thing is going to be a headache. I mean, there are two different options, and one is to filter and catch, and the other is to try and reburn, and it's expensive, and it's going to be a maintenance problem, I think.
well, I've heard of somebody was trying to get a dealer to sell them a new chassis without the motor. They were going to go buy a used or rebuilt motor and drop it in a new chassis. I'm not sure any of the dealers will do that either, but
Probably can't.
yeah, they probably are limited there.
I go tell Al Gore.
Any other business for the engineer?
Thanks, Ron, for all this comparison.
I didn't, like I said, I didn't feel as much need to go back any further.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned. Have a good day, everyone.
Gene, Renee wants to see you.